These are some Dinar Guru updates. Starting off with Mark Z via PDK, Iraq is definitely positioning to go full-blown international. Between their developments, projects, paying off the WTO fees, they have done everything at this point that we can think of to go international. I continue to hear great expectations from sources about tomorrow, and he was referring to the 28th, which is today, through the 3rd of July. Most think it will be this week. I hope that is accurate. All right, Pimpy says the Iraqi budget has been set in stone. It has now been published into law. Instructions for how payments are going to be allocated have already been issued. As soon as the holidays are over, you're going to start seeing a lot of people get the money they need for projects. We should start seeing a hiring wave happen. As more people get back to work over in Iraq, they start building a much stronger economy, which in return strengthens the Iraqi dinar. All right, Sandy Ingram says here's why the IMF is concerned over Iraq's new budget. The budget is based on oil prices staying at $70 or more per barrel. The budget is not only based on the price of oil, but on the number of barrels per day. It's 3.5 million barrels, and this is why the IMF said the budget is based on too rosy a picture. All right, Frank26 says Eid will end on July 2nd. In my opinion, between now and the 2nd, they're working to change the exchange rate in the budget. The budget will be opened on July 3rd. All right, Paulette says, I still don't understand why the budget couldn't be implemented at a program rate. Every budget previously implemented was at program rate, even though many have said it couldn't be done. The value of the budget is and has always been delineated in USD, as the revenues for the budget predominantly come from oil sales in USD. The MOF, given authority by the budget law, then requests the CBI to exchange USD for IQD in order to pay the expenditures. Randy said, you're right, it can open at 1300, but it looks like financial stupidity and 3-year international financial suicide if it holds at that rate. All this work for despair? Paulette says that makes a little more sense, so they could, but would they is the real question. One would have to conclude that they certainly are not planning on carrying the budget at 1300 much longer. They are attempting to de-dollarize, but don't have a current currency structure to do so. They have reduced the 3 zeros in circulation and are predominantly utilizing the 250, 500, 1000 denominations. To really de-dollarize, they need to be able to utilize IQD to purchase imports. They have improved the banking sector to international standards. They are forcing merchants to utilize the POS units, and infusing the market with trillions of IQD will likely lead to inflation. All right, Mark Z says still hearing tremendous expectations from tomorrow until July 3rd. It makes sense. We could see it in that time period. Walking Stick via Frank26, the new security law is another step for the new national currency to leave Iraq's borders. All right, Frank26 question, quote, is there such a thing as redemption centers, unquote? Frank says, of course. That's where you're going to go to exchange, which is a bank. All right, and lastly, Mountain Goat says, I feel we have been in a critical period of the currency reform program since January of 2023. Now we are in a vital period since the 3-year budget has been passed on Sunday, June 11th, now ratified by the President on June 21st, as needed to become law. It is now law and needs to be posted in the Gazette, but only for record's sake. Anything could now happen and is going to happen. In fact, this week or next could be pivotal last days of our investment. The CBI has told me they want to conclude this process of currency reform by July 1st.